Once upon a time, there was a very proud nation who sat in their land. And there was an evil king that came and took him into exile. Why? Because they weren't so good. And when the people went to exile, they were sitting by the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down, right? You know, by the rivers of Babylon. Al Na'arot Bavel, Sham Yashavnu Gam Bachinu Bezochrenu Et Etzion. When we remember Zion, greeting in the name of His Majesty, Zion. And remember Zion. I explained to you once, and I'll try to explain to you again. Chazal tell us that when the world was created, right, it was created place and time, or time and place. And that is being reflected by the name, by the word Bereshit. So time, we know what time is. But where is the place in which it all had started? Some people will tell you it is way somewhere into the middle of the universe. The world had started. Go to the universe, to the middle of the middle of the middle. You know, because the universe expands this way, so in the center, that's where it all started. That's a maybe, but not really. Everything in this world has a spiritual attribute as well. And the spiritual attribute of it is, is center, epic center of all spiritual power in the world is Yerushalayim. Jerusalem is the center of all spiritual powers in the universe. The Mishnah tells us that Yerushalayim, many Mishnah, in many cases, there are quotes in Yerushalayim, but Yerushalayim is the center of the world. Yerushalayim is, Eretz Israel is higher than all the countries. What does it mean higher? Higher, in Israel itself, Yerushalayim is the center of it. That could be. You have a Mount Hermon higher, you have Mount Everest. What does it mean? And I said to you once before, that the Midrash tells us that Shlomo HaMelech was so wise, he was able to plant every plant that grew anywhere in the world in Eretz Israel, to the point that he was able to grow apples next to peppers. Apples, let's say it's fruit of cold temperature, and peppers is from Africa, is hot. How did he do that? It's very interesting because in Israel, it's such a small place, and yet almost everything grows there. It is unreal. Even today, it's unreal. So allow me to show you. This is the world. This is your world on drugs. No, this is the world. This is what we call the equator. So if you take the globe and you divide it, this is going to be Greenwich line, and this is the equator here. However, where's the center, so-called, of the globe? You would say somewhere here and on the other side. But the world has other things to it. The spiritual hub for all spiritual powers in the world is somewhere around 32, somewhere around here in Yerushalayim. And from here, all the energy lines and all the spiritual lines of the world come. This is Yerushalayim. If you look at history, and I told you this before, any nation or group of people that want to control the world would do two things. A, would control or try to control the Jews and Yerushalayim. You control Yerushalayim, you control the Jews, you control the world. Yerushalayim was bought by David HaMelech. Yerushalayim was not conquered by David HaMelech, was bought. And this mountain that the temple mount on, Har Moriah, was built from the Yevusi. Yerushalayim was the heart of the Jewish nation throughout history. Always. Even at the time of the division of the kingdoms between Israel and Judea, we came to time to make pilgrimage. That's okay. We're all going to Yerushalayim. Jews always pray to Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim, just by the fact that everybody prayed to it for thousands of generations, for thousands of years, became even more magnified, its spiritual ability. And when you go to Yerushalayim, you feel different. If you go to Yerushalayim and you don't feel different, I would like to say that you are on a spiritual cardiac arrest. There's something wrong with you. When Bnei Israel were expelled, when the Jews were expelled to Babel, to Babylonia, they wrote, on the rivers of Babylon, where we sat down and cried when we remember Zion, on nights and where we hung our violins, where they... Kisham sha'alunu shovenu divrei shir v'tolenu simcha. Our captors told us, sing us a song, come on boys. Why don't you sing us some nice song, some Irish jig, some song that you know. Come on. Shiru lanu mishir Etzion. Sing us one of the famous songs that the Leviim used to sing in Yerushalayim and Bet HaMikdash. One of those Jewish hit parades. Ech nashir et shir Hashem al admat necha. How could we sing the song of Hashem on a foreign land? Do you know what it tells about you? Im eshkachech Yerushalayim tishkach yemini. If I forget you, Yerushalayim, it's like I won't forget my right hand. Tidbak leshoni nechaki. I would wish that my tongue will stick to my mouth. Im lo eskerech, if I wouldn't remind. Do you know what it's saying here? Im lo alet Yerushalayim arosh simchati, if I will not put Yerushalayim the head of my joy, my rejoicing. You know what it says here? It's a shvuah. Am Yisrael had sworn from the time of the Babylonian expulsion. It's a shvuah. It's a neder. Im eshkachech, if I will forget. It's a neder that we say, it's a Jewish swear. We swore not to forget Yerushalayim. זכור השם לבני אדום את תאום ירושלים, האומרים ערו ערו בה עד היסוד. When the Romans, this is the time of Babel, I was talking already about the Romans. When the Romans came to Yerushalayim, to the Temple Mount, they plowed until the foundations of the building. They plowed it so there won't be any remnant of Bet HaMikdash to outroot the Yerushalayim out of the Jewish heart. It was impossible. I want to share with you something personal. I'll show you. You know what this is? This is this. This is not something else. I'll show you what's in it. You want to see? Show you what it is. You do your work, Michael. These are rocks. Here, Exhibit 1. See? Exhibit 1. This is a volcanic rock. This is a rock covered with volcanic lava from the holy city of Tiberias, Tiberias. This is a rock from the holy city of Hebron. We gave it away. We don't want anything with it. We gave it away. Actually, we didn't give it away. It was taken away from us. This little stone has blue on it. I don't know if you can see. It's from the holy city of Tzfat. Blue. This is a little rock that I took from the old city of Yerushalayim. This is not a rock. This is not a rock. This, Rabotai, is a brick. And one time I asked someone to bring me something from somewhere, and I wanted a stone, and he brought me a brick. This is from the crematorium in Auschwitz. And I carry these things. You're going to have the little chips here. I'm going to put them back. I carry this thing with me on my heart. I would not forget where I came from. And I would not forget my country, my land. Not that I'm ungrateful to be able to live here in the United States. But I have an obligation, a swear that we swore, our generation, that I made at my wedding, if I forget Yerushalayim. That I would not forget my people. That's why I have this piece of brick from Auschwitz. Because I might forget. I might get trapped in the wealth of this country. Just like the Israelites were immersed in Egypt. But I don't want to forget. So I carried it on my heart. There's something that if I will forget you, Yerushalayim, im eshkachech Yerushalayim, Rabotai, we forgot about Yerushalayim. I know I sound like a broken record, but we forgot about Yerushalayim. We keep our mouth shut. I'm very surprised. We have wonderful networking capabilities. Facebook, Twitter, I don't know, whatever is out there. Torah Anytime. They're tremendous in reaching out to thousands of people. Lately they had a campaign raising $25,000. It was like this, quickly. So therefore I call upon all Jews to start a campaign to remind the Israeli government that Yerushalayim, I should say Eretz Israel, but especially Yerushalayim, is not up for grab. You don't do business with Yerushalayim as much as you don't do business with your mother. You would not send your mother, God forbid, to prostitution. We don't negotiate on Yerushalayim. Im eshkachech Yerushalayim. What are we doing? I feel like Yirmiyahu. Am I Yirmiyahu? I'm not Yirmiyahu. I'm not a prophet. I'm not Yirmiyahu. Everybody's sleeping. And I say it, and everybody's sleeping. And they kind of drip this into your mind, slowly, slowly. It's interesting. You look at the Israeli newspaper, they're trying to push this legal marijuana for medicinal every single day. All of a sudden, there is another article, this one benefited from pot, the other one became less paralyzed, this one. Every single time you see another little drip, another little drip, another little drip about Yerushalayim. Not only we should tell this, we should remind our dear honor elected officials here in this country that they are obligated to Yerushalayim as well. Since this country was founded on ideas that were rooted within Judaism, they should also remember that Yerushalayim is not up to grabs. What would have happened if we would negotiate Mecca? Why is anybody allowed to be even talking about Yerushalayim? Whatever we can. Abotai, you'll have to do it or it's going to be too late. 26 years ago when I was just about to get married to my wife, we were walking in the street and there was a big campaign on not negotiating about the Golan Heights. And I said to my wife, Golan Heights, Ha'amim HaGolan, is it not about the Golan? It should be in Yerushalayim. You're talking about the Golan, you're talking about Yerushalayim. So we should all remind ourselves and remind others. And we should be very active, of course, in a peaceful way. That Yerushalayim is not up to negotiation. Every time I hear, this particular individual, what's his name? Yaakov Shweki. He has the song of Mishkachech Yerushalayim. I cry. I can't listen to it. I cry. Every time somebody says I'm choking now. Every time somebody under the chuppah, when I said it under the chuppah, listen, I'm a tough cookie. I'm tougher than all of you. But when I said that under the chuppah, I was crying. How could you forget Yerushalayim? You can forget about your mother. You go, you leave your mother there, you put her in a nursing home, but you can never forget Yerushalayim. You swore. We swore. So therefore I challenge and I call upon anyone to do something about it. Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael, is not owned by anyone, not even by the Israelis. It belongs to Am Yisrael. And the Israelis should remember this. It is not theirs, it is ours. And we should remind them and remind everybody Yerushalayim is off the table. Get off our backs with Yerushalayim. Do it. Voice your concern. Make a campaign. The Yerushalayim should stay forever Jewish. And for that, we should sit down. Azayinu ketzochim. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu yemale peisfinu. HaKadosh yemale, you fill our mouth with joy and rejoicing. And then we'll be like dreamers. Have a great day.